What's going on, y'all? It's the one and only EdibleDope Chef, and welcome to the very first episode of Chefs Know It All, where y'all gonna be joining us with a little bit of cooking and conversation. So first things first, what we have for y'all today that we're gonna be making is our chicken Milanese with our chimichurri roasted potatoes. And this dish is coming way from Argentine, and it's gonna have a little bit of an Italian twist on it as well. So y'all rock with us while we get it started. First thing first that we're gonna do is we're gonna get our sauce that we're gonna put on for our chicken Milanese. Excuse me. So right now we got our tomatoes already cut up and we're gonna blend these down so they can go into this little pot right here to start doing our sauce. So we're gonna, I guess we gotta plug it up first. Plug that up and boom. We got our little baby blender right here. You can see that it says baby bullet. And that's gonna blend up our tomatoes right there. Let that get nice and blended down. We're gonna take that and we're gonna pour that right into our pan right here. And we're just gonna we're gonna adjust that heat just a little bit, turn it up just a tad. Not too much because we don't want it to start bubbling over. And we're just gonna let that simmer until our sauce gets ready while we start preparing everything else that we have. You can add a little bit of our salt and pepper. I use Nature Seasoning. I'm not getting a sponsor from them, so I just like to use it because for me it's better than salt and pepper. You know, it's a nice little blend: salt, pepper, garlic, onion. You know, a little parsley in there, so it gives it that nice little color, a little pepper. You know, so we're just gonna hit a little bit of that in there. Hit a little bit of our W sauce, our Worcestershire sauce. You know, it don't matter which brand that you like to use. You use what you want. A little bit of lemon juice. Just a couple splashes. You know, and I don't really like to measure. You know, I'm more of a I like to feel it. You know, I like to feel what I'm doing so that, you know, I don't get caught up in recipes. I just know what goes in there. So, but I'll be sure to put those recipes down in the description. I'll be sure to put all the measurements and all that type of stuff in there. So, anyway, while we got that going, let me get my spoon. Excuse me, let me get my stirring spoon. And it is clean. I just pulled it out of my knife bag. No cap. Just gonna stir that up right there. And like I said, we're just gonna let that thing cook down until it gets ready. Adjust that temperature on there, let it get nice and hot. And what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go into our chimichurri potatoes, which we already have cut up right here. We got our tri-colored potatoes. It's a mixture of purples, reds, and yellow gold potatoes. Yellow or gold, however you want to classify them. Either way. So it's tri-colored potatoes. And first thing we're gonna do is put a little bit of salt and pepper on those. Get that a nice little mix around, you know. And then the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add a little bit of our chimichurri that we made while we were getting ready for the show. Y'all gonna see we got a little chopped onions, a little scoop of garlic up in there, some chopped parsley, red wine vinegar, lemon juice, salt and pepper, and olive oil. And that's how I make my chimichurri. I did forget my red pepper flakes, but that just adds a little bit of spice to it. You know, give you a little bit of that, get a little bit of that up in there, a little bit of that kick, you know? So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna add a little bit of that straight on top of our potatoes. Real good. Like that. Get our spoon. Just get that mixed in real good. Little potato down. You know, get that mixed in real good. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna throw them in our pan right here. So we'll come over here, get our butter. And we're gonna throw a little bit of that in this pan right here while we get it going. This is actually garlic and herb butter as well. Garlic and herb Kerrygold butter. Again, we're not getting sponsors, so you know, we just showing y'all what we use. You know what I mean? You use what you want to use. All right, we'll cut a nice little chunk of that because we got a nice little amount of potatoes. Throw that in our pan. Get that on around there like so. Oh, and it's already smelling good.
What's it called again?
What? Kerrygold butter, garlic and herb butter. Shout out to Gabby Leonard, Tinkerbell, aka Tinkerbell. She the one who put me on this butter. Kerrygold butter, and it ain't cheap. Anyway, so we got our butter in, and while our butter is going, we're gonna take our potatoes and we're gonna throw them right on in there. Just throw them right in there. We turn our heat up a little bit, and we're gonna just let those kind of cook in that pan while we're getting everything else together. I'll put this over here in the sink. Continuously cleaning as we go. You know, remember, cleanliness is next to godliness for sure. I'm sure y'all are wondering, what does Chefs Know It All? Well, Chefs Know It All is gonna be the name of this cooking show, and the name Chefs Know It All came from a good friend of mine named Chris Griswold. Chris, if you see this, man, we finally got the show started, brother. We finally got it started. So thank you for giving me that name and giving me the inspiration. I've actually had this name for quite a while, and I've been having this concept for this show for quite a while. But the thing about it is, you know, you want things to be super perfect. You start asking people about what you think you should do, how you should do it, if you should do it. You know, I ain't necessarily had nobody that was talking me out of it, but I just, you know, some people were like, you know, make sure you got it straight, make sure you know where you're gonna do it, how you're gonna do it, what you're gonna do it. And I think now the time has just come to where everything kind of lined up perfectly for me to be able to do this. So, you know, here we are. Chefs Know It All. This is episode 1. And you know, hey, we're gonna see where this thing goes and where it takes us from here. You know what I mean? This is day 1, episode 1. So that's what we're doing right here. EdibleDope, Chefs Know It All, making Argentine chicken Milanese and chimichurri potatoes. So hey, follow me on this journey, and we're gonna make sure we give y'all the best and most entertaining cooking show that we can. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing here. That's what the purpose of this whole thing is. And we're gonna teach y'all how to cook some good stuff. We're gonna teach y'all how to cook some real good stuff for real. We're not gonna play with it. We're gonna really dive in and you know, really teach some lessons on this thing. Now we're gonna start getting our chicken ready. First thing we need to do for our chicken, my bad, get us a nice big bowl. Well, not a big bowl, but you know, a nice little old bowl. We got our breadcrumbs, Italian style breadcrumbs, Italian style. You can make your own breadcrumbs, or you can buy you some at the store. It's actually easier to buy them at the store because, I mean, who wants to take the time to make breadcrumbs? Anyway, I'm gonna put a little bit of those in there.
You know how to make breadcrumbs?
Yeah, but it's time consuming, you know. You gotta You can't toast it too fast because then it'll get too crispy. Then it'll be burnt. And you got to watch it. You know, you got to be sitting there watching it, and you got to pick what kind of bread you want to use and all this other stuff. When I can just buy some from the store and make it a little bit easier on myself. I don't mind going through those processes of making bread and doing all that stuff, but like I said, with this setting, I want to make it as easy as possible for the viewer. So that's what me cutting these small corners is about. So we got our breadcrumbs right there. We're gonna add a little bit of our EdibleDope seasoning to our breadcrumbs. We're gonna add that in right there. And my seasoning don't have no salt because I know what y'all thinking. Oh, you put a lot in there. It's gonna be a lot of salt or whatever. It's gonna be salty. But my seasoning that I make, it doesn't have any salt, so it's not gonna be. It's just all flavor. That's it, all flavor. I'm finna check on these potatoes real quick. They look like they're starting to get done. Turn down our fire some. Mix those up like so. Oh yeah, they're getting there. They are getting there, for sure.
Why you put these potatoes?
Huh?
Why you put these potatoes? I see some purple ones on
Color wise, you know, it looks good. And color wise,
there. Taste different?
they cook different. I'll say that they cook different. Different potatoes have different textures. For example, russet potatoes, which are the brown potatoes that everybody uses, they when you boil them and you cook them, they get really mushy. They break up easily. Those are the best for mashed potatoes. Russet potatoes and gold potatoes. Those are the best ones for mashed potatoes because they mash up easily. Um, Red potatoes are good for roasted potatoes because they have like a little coating on there that um, keeps them from getting so mushy. So they'll stay more solid when you roast them. Like say if you're roasting them in the oven or whatever, they'll stay more solid and they just give a better texture for roasting. Purple potatoes. I don't really know too much about purple potatoes, but I would imagine that um, they're probably like red potatoes. They're because they don't really. I've never tried them for mashed potatoes, so I don't know how they mash up. But I know for roasted potatoes, purple potatoes are really good. So I would say they're kind of in the red potato family as far as that. So that's just a little, you know, that's just a little lesson for, a little lesson on potatoes. You know what I mean? If you didn't know that about potatoes, now you know which ones to use for what purpose. You know which potatoes to use. So that's a little lesson for you right there. You know what I mean? All right, our sauce is starting to get a little thick. We're gonna turn it up just a little bit. You see it bubbling? Uh-oh. Sorry, almost called the fire. But yeah, y'all see it bubbling right there? That just means it's reducing down all that liquid out of there. Cause we wanted to get a little thick, kind of like tomato sauce. So you wanted to get a little thick and get all that water out of there. Like I said, it's episode 1, so we're still trying to get our fully get my setup together. See how I need things to be functioning and set properly. You know what I mean?
So this is episode 1?
Episode 1, baby.
Nice.
Episode 1 of many. You know what I mean? We got a lot more coming. And y'all probably wondering why I keep shaking up my potatoes. I don't want my potatoes to stick to the bottom of the pan. So as they're cooking, we want to keep giving them a toss or a stir. That way we can make sure all of them get cooked. You know what I mean? We want to make sure all those potatoes get cooked all the way through. But we're not trying to cook them all the way. You know what I mean? We don't want them to get mashy or mushy and be all ugly on the plate. We want them to stay in our, how they got cut up. So everything just kind of goes together cohesively. You know what I mean? So we got our chicken breast laid out right here. Laid out. It's already cut thin. Some EdibleDope Seasoning. Like I said, we're gonna coat it up real nice and make sure we get some good flavor on them things. Flip them over. Get them nice and coated, nice and coated. All right. Now, check our potatoes again because I'm smelling them. You know, when you're a chef, you get to knowing just how, by the smell that it's almost done, you know? So these are about done, about halfway. We're just gonna give them another toss, another swizzle around in the pan, you know? Just give our tomato sauce a little swirl, swizzle. And that's about, our tomato sauce is about cooked down now. So that one can really come off. Oh yeah. We got a good little consistency with our tomato sauce here. You see that? See how thick it's gotten? Most of that moisture has gotten out of there. And that's how you want that tomato sauce for that right there. So we can go on and take that off the heat, turn that fire off. We're gonna set that back here. Let it kind of cool off till we're ready to use it. We're gonna get our other pan and set that up for our chicken. So we got that pan right here. Get us a nice amount of olive oil in this pan because we're gonna coat it. We're gonna coat our chicken in the breadcrumbs. We're gonna like lightly fry it in the pan, and then we're gonna throw it in our oven, in our little oven that we got right here. So, like I said, a nice generous amount of olive oil right here. You really want to kind of coat the bottom of the pan. You know, you don't want to make it a pool, but you want to coat the bottom of the pan to where it can lay in there. Our chicken can lay in there and it can just kind of cook evenly. So let's get our temperature adjusted on that. Our potatoes are still roasting. They're getting closer and closer. Take this glove off, my bad. Getting closer and closer as far as what we got going on. Oh yeah, they about ready. All right, so I heard somebody might be in need of a chef. And if that might be the case for you, then what we need you to do is go and follow us on all your social media platforms at EdibleDope Chef. You can also place your booking at EdibleDopeChef@gmail.com. You can DM us, you can send us an email, and we will make sure we do our part every day to accommodate whatever your party or service may be, whether it be a birthday party, it could be a wedding, it could be a baby shower, or it could be a romantic dinner between you and your loved one, or you could be on your fitness journey and you need something healthy to eat. You can reach out to us for any event catering service, meal prep, meal planning, or anything, any of those needs. We're gonna do our part every day to make sure that we accommodate you for what you need from us. So one more time, we're gonna tell you, follow us, EdibleDope Chef. Reach out to us for your bookings via DM or EdibleDopeChef@gmail.com. Thank you in advance. Now let's get back to the show. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. And we're gonna come and get our pan here. And we're gonna put them right on in there. And those are our chimichurri potatoes. And what we're gonna do with those is we're gonna sprinkle some of that chimichurri across them, some more of that. Just across the top. And let that just kind of marinate over them. You know what I mean? Yes, Lord. And that's the first part of our dish right there. Our chimichurri potatoes. Set those to the side here. And as y'all can probably see, our pan is starting to smoke. Let's get our chicken in here before we set this alarm off. This fire alarm off in there. You know what I mean? So let's get our breading right here. We're just gonna take our first chicken, throw it in there. We're gonna just coat it up very lightly. It don't gotta be a thick, heavy coat. I don't really do the egg wash stuff. Because I don't want a thick coat of cheese. I don't like a thick coat of batter on my chicken. I like a little thin, crispy, you know what I mean, coat on there. I don't want all that extra bread on there. Just give me a nice little crisp piece of chicken on there. Boom. We're gonna throw that on there like that. Got two more, so we're gonna get two in here right now, and then we're gonna have to do the last one by itself.
Tell us, man, what got you into cooking?
What got me into cooking?
Yeah, like why you a chef?
Why am I a chef?
You love it? You hate it? How you feel about it?
I really do love it. I do love it. My first love was football. That's what I always say. First love was football. End up getting kicked out of football because of that whole, no pass, no play thing. And I was a kid who really didn't like going to class like that. So I was skipping a lot. So that caused me to not be able to play football anymore. So after football, this was the plan. The plan was actually, if I was ever to be fortunate enough to make it to the NFL, I was going to have a restaurant in the off season. So once the idea of going to the NFL fell through, it was like, okay, well, we're going to go be a chef then. Let's try to be a chef in that restaurant versus just, the owner. You know what I mean? So that's where the love of cooking came. And that was about 17 years ago when I was 16. So now we're 17 years in of cooking, 10 years in of Edible Dope. And, we're just keeping it going. And I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. I still love football, but I mean, I don't even think I'd rather be doing that right now. I'd rather be doing this, you know what I mean? Because it's a joy you get out of cooking for somebody, and when they just love your food and they give you that, when they give you that right review and it's like, oh man, that was the best thing I ever eaten, or, oh, I've never had anything like that, or, when they come back to you and they want that same thing over and over and over, give you that feeling like, man, I really, somebody likes what I do. So that's what cooking is for me. It's not just a money thing. It's not just a hustle thing. It's my life, So for me, I wouldn't rather be doing anything else. So that's what cooking means. That's why I'm a chef, because I get to, make people happy with my food. I get to satisfy people food wise, you know. Hope I answered your question. So now we're taking those first two off that we coated, and we're gonna get this last one right here that we got. Let's add a little more olive oil back to the pan. We can go ahead and turn this last one over. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's got a nice little coating on the back side of that. It look like a little pork chop. When your mama used to cook pork chops and stuff, it used to have that nice little old color, light crispiness on there, you know what I mean? Again, we're letting that finish up. And we're actually almost done, y'all. We're actually almost done. We got a little bit more to go. While that's going, I want to tell y'all what to expect from this channel. So, or from this show. Um, First thing first, like I said, it's gonna be cooking and conversation. So it's gonna be me showing y'all a bunch of different recipes that I already have, some stuff that I might be just coming up with, some stuff that I might be just trying to play with. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all gonna learn some things right along with me, and I'm gonna teach y'all some things that I already know. And also, I'm gonna have a few guests on here every now and again. I'm gonna have a couple different business people, you know, some other chefs to come in and teach us. Hold on, let me turn that around right quick. My bad. And you know, they'll come in and teach us some more things, maybe some things that I don't know. Um, I'm not too well versed at vegan stuff, so I'll have a vegan chef come in and show us a few things. And yeah, man, we're just gonna have a lot of fun. You know, we're gonna have a few special what is it called? What is it called? A few special episodes, I guess, for lack of a better term. A few special episodes where you know we might be at a tailgate, or we might be outside at a function, or you know we might just be on a trip out somewhere. We might be somewhere out of town, and I might be cooking or something like that, or out the country. So we'll have those kind of episodes and things for y'all as well. So you know those are just a few things that y'all can expect from this channel. So I hope y'all stay with us and stay with us on this journey. And you know, see what we got coming for y'all in the future. All right, so we got our chicken done. Trayed up on our tray. We're just gonna pop that right in here. Let's move our potatoes out of the way. Excuse me. We're just gonna pop that right in here. Oops, sorry. Pop that in there. It's on 350. We're gonna let that bake until that chicken get done. Probably take about 10, 15 minutes in there. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna take long at all. You know. Now what we can start doing is we get back to the cleanup. So we're gonna start cleaning up a little bit right here. All right, so now we're back. First things first, we're gonna do now that we're back. Our chicken is done. We're gonna pull our chicken out of the oven. You know what I mean? See that right there? Got our good chicken done, cooked all the way through. Woo, that tastes good. Now our next step for our chicken is where our sauce comes in. So we're gonna bring our Argentine tomato sauce right here. And we're gonna coat that right on top of each piece. So we're gonna throw that on like so. Throw this on like so, spread it out. And you don't wanna put too much on there. You just wanna put enough to cover the piece of chicken, where it's like every piece you get a bite of that sauce.
So you saying this from where again? Argentina?
Argentina, South America. One of my favorite cuisines that we did when we did that 12 months menus. This was definitely one of my favorites to play with. The flavors were just different, and I had Argentine food before that, but this one right here, it was just like, man, it was something about it that just intrigued me. So I love it. So yeah, like I said, Argentina, no, not yet, but I'm going. I'm going for sure. It's on the list. Got that passport. Y'all will see that we might do an episode in Argentina one day. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Real talk. So what we got right here, we got a little prosciutto ham. If you know what prosciutto is, it's an Italian ham. Very good. Has a little bit of a high salt profile, but it's not too salty. You know what I mean? So we're gonna do is we're gonna take us a couple slices of that, and we can cut it in half, and we're gonna set it right over that chicken. So it's just gonna be like a you're gonna throw it over like a piece of cover or something. You know what I'm saying? Get another couple pieces, cut them in half like so, and we're just gonna drape it right over that chicken like so.
This kind of becomes gourmet food.
I guess it can be gourmet. It's foreign for sure, as well to Americans.
Foreign, but it look good. It's like a foreign cars.
Yeah, we can definitely uh, call it a little gourmet. It has a gourmet touch to it. This is Italian style cheese. It's a blend of like 6 different cheeses. So I'm not gonna go through the different cheeses. Just go get it and look it up.
It'll tell you what's in there. Gonna let that cheese melt.
Yeah, we're gonna pop this right back in the oven right here, and then we're gonna let that cheese melt right on top. So see, we're putting a nice little healthy portion of cheese on top. You know what I mean? So you put your preferred amount on there, and it doesn't have to have cheese on it. Honestly, don't gotta have cheese on it. You don't have to put cheese on it.
Oh, for real?
No, all Milanese recipes do not call for cheese. Some of them do, some of them don't. It just depends on.
Hold on, you said Milanese? I thought this was Argentine.
What? Milanese. That's the name of the dish.
Oh, okay.
It's called chicken Milanese or Milanese, or some people call it Malaysia. I call it chicken Milanese. That's what it's called.
So the cheese you use, can you put, let's say, cheddar cheese if someone didn't want Italian cheese?
Yeah, you can put whatever cheese you want. Honestly, in my mind, there's no right or wrong way to do it unless you're trying to do it the traditional way of the culture that you're following. So if I'm trying to make it a traditional Argentine meal, like I said, some of them have it on there, some of them don't. Some of them use regular ham, some of them use a slice of turkey. I chose to use prosciutto ham just because I like prosciutto ham. You can use whatever kind of cheese you want. You can use what some people, instead of using a tomato sauce, they'll just cut up a couple slices of tomatoes and put it underneath the ham. So it's really preference. Whatever you want to do, that's what you do. I'm just showing y'all how I do it. So y'all can follow my method and you can alternate that method however you feel like you want to alternate it. It's on you. But I'm just showing you what I do. So we're going to throw this back in here. Let that cheese get nice and melted.
So like, how long are you going to keep it in there?
After the cheese melt, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. Don't really matter how long you just want it to get melted. So it's not really a time limit on after the cheese is added. So while that's going on, we got our chimichurri potatoes. We're going to go ahead and plate those up. Oh, we got us some nice little Marvel white and gray plates. You know what I mean? We're going to be switching up our plates throughout our time with these shows. We'll be coming with some real nice stuff. So yeah, gonna plate up. First thing first, we're just gonna put a nice portion of our potatoes on there. I'm already dropping stuff. Just a nice little hefty serving, you know what I mean? Right in the middle. Nice little hefty serving, you know what I mean? Just like that. Come back here and set that over there. Get that out the way. And a towel, we're gonna wipe our edges of our plate because we want it to look dirty. All right. We got our chimichurri sauce. And we're going to drape a little bit more of that just over the top. Just a little bit over the top right there. And those are our chimichurri potatoes. And as you can see, our cheese is melting, or it's melted. So we're going to pull that thing out like that. See that? Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
I've never seen food like that.
Hey, now you have. I appreciate you, brother.
It ain't even done, huh?
It ain't even done. We about to plate it up and get it done. So we're gonna take us a piece right here and set it right over top. Oh, you see that cheese pool? Look at that cheese pool. Oh, damn. The cheese had the little juice from the meat on there, so exquisite. Take another piece right here. Gonna drape that right across on top of that like that. Now we're gonna get a little bit more of our chimichurri, and we're gonna just drape that across the top of there like so. You know what I mean? Look at that color that's bringing out them onions and that green from that parsley. That oil making it shine. You know what I mean?
That's something else, all right.
Oh, yeah. And that's our edible dope. Chicken Milanese right there. And this right here, that's a little bit of breadcrumbs. Those Italian breadcrumbs that we drench the chicken in. I just add a little bit of something like that. And then, of course, I'm gonna wipe our plate off on the ends. And there you have it. That's our chicken Milanese. Move this to the side. That's our chicken Milanese right there. Chimichurri potatoes, Italian cheese, chimichurri spread on top. And that's what we got for y'all today on this episode of Chefs Know It All. Thank y'all for being with us. Man, like I said, we got a lot of things coming for this channel. This is episode 1. Episode 1, we went to Argentina. We did an Argentine dish, chimichurri potatoes, chicken Milanese, chimichurri spread on top. Now, we're about to go sit down, eat, so we can fill our bellies up with some of this good dope. All right, y'all. So we're finally done cooking. As y'all know, we made chicken Milanese with chimichurri potatoes. But before we dive into this plate, I just want to give y'all a little mindful dope for the day. Don't waste your time. We do not have time to waste out here. If you're procrastinating on something that you need to be doing, you need to get up and do it. If you got an idea in your head and you think it's going to work, or you want to try to make it perfect before you actually go and put your foot in it, man, jump into it. Do your research, of course. Do your research. Jump into it and start figuring it out as you go. You know, don't waste time in thinking you gotta have it completely perfect when you start. You start off, you mess up, you fix your mistakes, and then you keep going. That's what this whole process has been for me and my cooking journey, and that's what this process has been for trying to put this show together. Well, for putting this show together for y'all. So again, we don't have time to waste, so make the best of it. You know what I'm saying? Use every second of every day to go out, chase your dreams, accomplish your goals, figure out what you want to do, and just put your all into it. Go all the way in on it. Go at it. We ain't got nothing but time, but we don't got time to waste. So get yours, because I'm definitely about to get mine. So, hey, that's it. Thank y'all for joining us with another episode of Chefs Know It All. I'm your host, EdibleDope Chef, and we'll be back next week. We might have a guest, we might not. Oh, yeah, and if you got something that you want us to show you how to cook, put it in the comments. You can DM it to me at EdibleDope Chef, and we'll get it on the show, and we might get you on the show and show you how to cook it live in person. So again, thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for watching. And man, y'all be blessed and have a good Tuesday. I'm about to eat.